The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Experts have seen an uptick in Metro Manila's COVID-19 reproduction rate during the holiday season. To know more about this, we have with us this afternoon Professor Guido David of the Octa Research. He's joining us over the phone. Professor, first of all, Merry Christmas. Would like to know of the many questions again, how much of an increase in virus transmission are we actually seeing the rate as to the rate and how serious is this?
Yes, hi, Merry Christmas, Riza, and to all our viewers and listeners. Um, we actually saw an increase in the reproduction number in the NCR. It increased from 0.42 from the previous week to 0.70 as of yesterday. So how much of an increase is that? Well, it's a significant increase, but it's still below one. So it's still not at an alarming level yet. But we are, of course, monitoring this closely because we're seeing an uptick in the NCR. Now, a holiday uptick is not, it's not something new. We saw this last year around the same time in December. We also had the holiday uptick, so that's what we're monitoring. If this will be something that will be going away after the new year.
Mm-hmm. Sir Guido, is this because there's looser restrictions or people, is it because people are going out, there's mobility and people are gathering?
Well, the increased mobility and the increased, possibly the increasing number of, social gatherings, um, personal interactions may have contributed to this uptick. And this is somewhat expected. We were not really, caution. I mean, we were cautioning people, but we were kind of expecting people to have or to enjoy the holidays, and this is what happened. So it's not really alarming at this time, but there may be other factors, but we will know maybe after the new year once things become more clear.
Mm-hmm. Sir, some people from NCR went home to their provinces for the holidays. With this, should we expect a surge come January when they get back?
Well, last year we also had an uptick around after January 1, and this was because of more people returning to the NCR, and also because of the testing laboratories resuming operations. Part of the reason for the a downtick would be that there are less laboratories open to conduct testing, and once they reopen, we should see an slight upsurge around after the new year, and this may happen. We may see an increase in the number of cases after January 1, but it should resolve after the first week, unless it's something that's a serious concern that is a serious or something that's causing a reversal in the downward trend that we have been seeing over the past months.
Mm-hmm. Sir, how about in other places other than Metro Manila and NCR? Are we seeing any increase in cases? And again, which parts of the country or areas um, could be of a concerning situation?
Well, right now, Riza, it's mostly in the NCR where we can see this kind of an increase. It might be happening elsewhere, but because the caseloads are so low in other parts of the country, it's not yet visible to us. Plus the fact that, as we mentioned, many laboratories, especially those that were affected by the typhoon, many laboratories are closed, and that will result in a decreased number of testing in these provinces that were affected by the typhoon. So we don't have a clear picture yet. And in the provinces, we'll probably know by January. But in the NCR, where it's mostly happening, the average in the number of cases in the NCR was as low as about 70 just about last week. But now yesterday it was at 200 cases. So we can see that there is definitely an uptick going on. And again, we hope that it's just something that's temporary.
Finally, sir, can you share with us, if you may, the projections for COVID-19 numbers in the country in the next few weeks? And would the Omicron variant be of an effect in these projections?
Yes, definitely, Riza. If there's no Omicron, if we're just seeing an uptick due to the holidays, the festivities, then the caseload will probably decrease to about the same level as what they were just last week, meaning we expect cases to decrease down to about 200 after the holidays, so maybe 200 to 300 per day in the whole Philippines. But if we are seeing a continued increase in the number of cases, if we see something like 500 cases in one day and maybe more, or even, I mean, let's hope not, but even up to 1,000 cases in one day, then definitely we would be very suspicious about what's driving this uptick. If we were seeing that number of cases, then we may start to suspect that there's an Omicron involvement there. But right now, it's too soon to to know either way if it's going to be going back down to 200 to 300, or if it's going to continue increasing to around 500 or even 1,000.
Thank you, sir, as always, for sharing with us your time and your insights. And again, happy holidays. That's Professor Guido David of the Octa Research Group. Now, still on COVID-19, the health department logs 433 new infections today. This has brought the total infections to 2,838,000, some 9,500 of which are still active. 5 duplicate cases were removed from the count. 13 new COVID-related deaths were also recorded overnight, pushing the death toll to 51,200, 9 of which were just reclassified from recoveries. Total recoveries are now at nearly 2,778,000, with more than 280 new recoveries logged in the past 24 hours. 63 came from the case count after validation. Now, out of the 21,000 tests recently conducted, 2% yielded positive results. The Department of Health noted that 6 labs were not able to submit data. Now, over in France, hospital workers are facing fatigue as hospitalization surge in the country is in the face of the Omicron variant and unvaccinated patients. Let's find out more from this Bloomberg Quick Take.
Le fait que je ne me suis pas fait vacciner, ça m'a fait beaucoup réfléchir. Et si j'avais été vacciné, j'aurais pas été à ce niveau de réanimation. Donc le vaccin, c'est pas un danger, c'est une possibilité d'échapper à quelque chose de plus grave.
Cette semaine, je me suis vue veuve. Hein. Cette semaine, j'ai cru que j'allais le perdre. Je vous dis, j'ai cru que j'allais le perdre. Donc le vaccin, faut arrêter de croire que c'est pas ni nécessaire, ni c'est pas que c'est pas nécessaire, c'est indispensable.
On est tous fatigués, il y a des vagues de fatigue comme des vagues épidémiques, donc on en a marre, hein, on en a marre, mais bon, on est toujours, on va dire, concentré à faire notre travail de la même manière et d'essayer d'apporter les mêmes soins avec la même qualité aux patients au fil de l'eau. Mais plus on avance et plus les gens sont fatigués, plus on perd des soignants également. Il y a beaucoup de soignants qui sont partis, des soignants qualifiés en réanimation qui sont partis, et ça rend notre travail au quotidien encore plus difficile. Si le variant Omicron entraîne autant de formes sévères que les variants précédents, il fera probablement exploser les hôpitaux, je pense. Oui. Tout à fait, parce qu'on est déjà en tension, avec très peu de places disponibles, et vu le nombre de contaminations prévues, plus de 100 000 contaminations par jour hein, en fin d'année, Si vraiment il y a autant de formes sévères qu'avec les variants précédents, à l'hôpital on risque très certainement d'être débordé.
Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. The Philippine International Trading Corporation and 7 other government-owned and controlled corporations have over 13.17 billion pesos in funding that remain unutilized. That is according to the Commission on Audit's 2020 financial report. The COA said the GOCCs have not fully liquidated their funds or returned their balances to source agencies. Oil firms are expected to roll back prices as the Omicron variant threat puts a dent on fuel demand. In its forecast, Unioil says diesel would go down by 60 to 70 centavos per liter, while gasoline would decrease by 20 to 30 centavos this week. And the 3 members of K-pop sensation BTS contracted COVID-19. Rappers RM and Suga are asymptomatic. They tested positive for the virus while under home quarantine upon their return to South Korea. Meanwhile, vocalist Jin has a mild fever. He was initially released from quarantine after testing negative, then received a positive result later on. Revisit the biggest stories and top headlines of 2021. Catch One News year-end special, Awit 2021, narrated by John Arcilia later today at 8 p.m. here on One News. You can also catch it on Signal Play app. Here's a sneak peek.
The first batch of Sinovac vaccines finally arrived this morning.
The Philippines received 2 million more doses of Sinovac's COVID vaccine. The government procured doses arrived in the country Thursday evening.
The organizer of the Maginhawa Community Pantry is appealing to authorities to stop red-tagging volunteers.
Wala po akong link sa Communist Party.
A nation in mourning this Thursday, former President Benigno Noynoy Aquino III joined our
The more contagious Delta variant of the coronavirus has spread across the Philippines.
Philippines, the wait is over! The goal is yours!
Winaharap na ninyo kami. Winaharap na ninyo. Ang dangal ng DOH.
We all want to save lives. For crying out loud. No one in government wants a single life lost. No one.
Nadiskubre po natin inuna ang kumita at makakuha ng komisyon at kickback instead of coming up with the right way to
I am today announcing my intention to run for the presidency of the Philippines.
Lalaban ako. Lalaban tayo.
Awit 2021, a year-end special, hosted and narrated by John Arcilia. Mapapanood ngayong December 26, alas 8 ng gabi sa One News at 1PH.
And for more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World Online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now, www.signalplay.com, and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.